Hi everybody, welcome to Otter HB. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscription button down below. Give me a thumbs up for that like if you enjoy the video. Today we're going to be installing a budget battery monitor in my RV. Been wanting to do it for a while, so come on, let's go, let's do it. So I've been wanting to install a battery monitor in the trailer for a while. It's the traditional trailer. It's got the 3 lights or 4 lights up, and you hit the button and it raises and lowers. It just doesn't show you much. So I was researching them, and you research and they run from $17 to $250, and you go, which one do I want? Well, I know which one I wanted. I wanted the $250 one. But I kept going, do I really need it? And so I never did it. And then finally a buddy of mine did it, and he did the $17 one. And it's reading exactly what he wants, shows how much he's using, what's coming in, what's going out. And I went, you know what? I should just spend the $17 and do it. At least then I would have something. But as I watched videos before and even now, it just left a lot of questions for me. When I was going, how am I install it? Like, where do you mount it? How long are the wires that come with it? Just nothing a lot of the videos were showing. Everybody's mounting them in 5th wheels where they got gobs of space to put it, or motorhomes. I'm all like, I'm on just a RV. I've got 2 batteries and I got to find a spot to mount it. So I think I answered most of my questions, and I'll try to show you. So what I ended up doing is I spent $17 on a monitor, and then I went, okay, let's go buy some wiring, and I bought a roll of wiring, bought a roll of some conduit just to protect the wire, zip ties to zip tie it in, a couple of things. I ended up spending $70. So I spent $17 on the monitor, $70 on miscellaneous stuff. So when it's all said and done, I'm going to come down to about $100, and it looks to be a pretty easy install, so hopefully it turns out well. Let's do it. So here's the monitor I got, and here's how it came. It came basically boxed up, 100 amp shunt sitting right on top, nothing big. You open, and there you go. There is the monitor, and then pretty easy, you look on the back, and lo and behold, there's the wiring. So it's not that hard of an install. The shunt. So a couple of my questions when I was doing the research was, well, how long is the wire? Some said 6 feet, some on other monitors say, there's 120 feet of wire, so it can go wherever. But there was no specific, and it's all like, can I use a different wiring then? But it was real easy. It came with a shunt and a monitor, so I was kind of like, awesome. Now I could just wire it. So bought a roll of 12 gauge wire. I'll cut 4 strips, about 20 feet, and now I can run it however I want, as long as I want. It's gonna connect to my battery. I'll zip tie, conduit to some wiring and run it under, drill a hole up in, and there you have it. So it looks like the install is going to be pretty easy. One of my other big question was the shunt. Where do you mount the shunt? You can't do it outside. Again, on RVs and stuff, they have these boxes where batteries are on 5th wheels and motorhomes, and this is where they go. Well, I've got 2 batteries. Where am I going to put this thing? Then I started thinking, well, I could do a box to the frame and all this. But it was really interesting when I looked at my friend Art's, where he did with the shunt went straight to the battery. So this is connected directly to the battery, and that's what we're going to be doing. And I went, well, that solves the issue 100%. The one thing I did do is I watched one last night, and I kind of liked where they put the shunt also. And what they did is they just drilled a couple holes, put some bolts in, mounted it there, so when it sat down, it sat there, and that's where you'd see your shunt. So when you talk about the more expensive one, and they have the 500 amp shunts, which are thicker, that would be a great place to put it. Just kind of bolt it there, turn it over, and lo and behold. So that was my other big question, is where to put the shunt. So here's my house battery setup, just 2 regular house batteries. What I'm gonna do here is, this is the side where the shunt's gonna get connected to. We're gonna take our 100 amp shunt and it's gonna go straight to the battery. So it's gonna connect right there. All this is gonna connect to the other side. So lo and behold, there's no running an extra wire. Nice, easy install as far as the shunt's concerned. What we're gonna do right now, I think, is pull this off. We're gonna install the shunt, show that. Then we'll run 4 wires just to the monitor out here, make sure everything's running fine, and then we'll run it over to the trailer. I've got 2 greens on this, so I colored one of the tips black. So we know what it is. We'll see how bad that messes me up later on down the line. Okay, let's get this shunt hooked up. We're gonna go right there. And everything on this side of the shunt is gonna get hooked to the other side of that shunt. So let's see how this is gonna work. I think these 2 wires here, I think we could run those around to this side and they will go there. And this wire seems to have a lot of play in it, so we'll be able to run it right to there. So the first thing first is, let's get this shunt on. I wonder, right there maybe? It's not gonna go right there. How about we go like that, and we'll get it on and get it tightened. And then we could kind of play with it where we want. It's got a little bit of give right there. But we got to be able to get to that underside, so I think that's good. So my friend Art's here. He's going to give me a hand installing this. We just put the shunt onto the battery. Now it's time to hook up some wires and see if it works. Okay, let's see if we can get this tightened up. Okay, so now we're just going to plug it in and see if it works. Once again, we have a diagram on the back. We know what we did on the battery, so let's kind of put things where they belong. Okay, everybody, so we've got it hooked up. You know how they say 3rd time's a charm? Well, 3rd time's a charm. First time we had the wires one way and that wasn't right. Second time we had the wiring another way and that wasn't right. And then we actually looked and followed the directions and got it right, and everything's reading just like it's supposed to. Turned on some lights, shows I'm drawing power, shows my batteries are full right now. So it works, the hookup's right. So now we just got to run it and put it where we want. So now on to the next part. I was wondering where I was going to run it on the inside, and I found a spot I'll show you right now. And then as we're looking underneath, I found where some gas lines came up into the trailer, so there won't even be any drilling underneath. You just kind of find somewhere where you can feed it through a hole that's already there. Hopefully that's what I'm going to be able to do. But I'll show you. So as you come into the trailer, there's my sink, and then I looked at all this space and it looks like right here is going to be a great spot to mount it. And I opened up here, there's area down there and a pipe that comes through one of the gas lines that I can run the electrical line through, and it'll basically snake up and come in right there. So should be a good place. Out of the way, nowhere to get caught. Now for the fun part, we get to cut the face of the cabinet. This is the part that we didn't tell Janine that we had to cut the face of the cabinet. Because if she watched me cutting the face of this cabinet, she would be going unglued right now. And the question always is on this, is why do you need it? And the best answer I have been able to come up with is you don't need it. I want it. That's why.
So that thing's just a little sanding disc, you know?
The question always is, how many tools can you use on one job? So let's try here. This might be a little too rough. See if we can hook them up right this time. And that's why when you unhook something, you take a picture of it so we could do it the same. Twice in a row, it's awesome.
Everything's tight. He's tight. Tight.
I just want to come in and show you a little bit closer how it now came off there, our two wires on the shunt, and then our actual shunt. It was a great place. Instead of mounting it anywhere, it went straight to the battery. Just made for a really clean install. And then okay, so here's probably the best part of this install is everything's cut, everything's wired, everything's kind of done. So now it's time to push it into the hole and finalize this part of it. And it's tight.
Yeah, bend them all 90.
And they'll... Okay guys, so there's our finished product. So as we watch where it's at right now, we look and see like we're pulling 4.4 watts. Turn the light on and it jumps up to 7.8. Turn the stove light up and it's 15.4. That is the light that uses the most. Is the light above your cooktop uses the most power of all your lights in your trailer. But that is our finished product. It's what we did. Instead of, we have that now to check our voltage. It's like 12.7 will tell us that our battery is fully charged. Here at the end of the video, I will show you a voltage charge that I just took from a friend that shows where our batteries are, so you'll have that. But it shows what everything on the battery and the electricity is doing as far as the 12 volt side. Versus going like this, going, I wonder what my batteries are doing, and hitting the light. And go, okay, 4 lights, what does that mean? Hey everybody, so what this is a voltage charge that shows you the condition of your battery. So if you're at 12.2, you have 80%. If you got anything above 12.6, you're at 100%. So that's a nice thing to have somewhere to be able to see it. So thank you for watching. I hope it helped somebody do this job. It went pretty easy. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to Otter HB. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for joining me in a project. Bye guys.